Hello there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Histon. And coming up in today's video we have got a Southern League Cup semi-final match away at Banbury, and we also have a league match against our nearest rivals in the league, Hereford. Now you're probably wondering why we're doing a double live com in this particular episode when there's a gap between the two games. That's mainly because of the fact that I wanted to make up for the fact that we weren't able to show you that second game that was supposed to be in the last episode, which was this crazy extra time 3-2 victory against Weymouth. So I thought I'd make that up, try and make that up for you guys and give you an actual double live com in this episode, and fingers crossed everything all works this time around. I think I've got an idea as to how I can get around the issue that I was having before. So I'll just take you through what's been happening since you were last with us, which was the Sooner win against Hampton and Richmond, and then I told you about this 3-2 victory against Weymouth. We then followed this up by having to play Merthyr Town twice in the league. I think it's mainly because this away game against Merthyr Town was moved around several times throughout the season, mainly because of our cup commitments. So it's just one of the things where it's happened. But as you can see here, nothing really much happened. Well, one thing did happen in the first game, and that was that Merthyr Town had a penalty which was saved by Reece Bills. It's another one added to the collection. I probably need to should have had a list of how many times Reece Bills has saved a penalty since he's been with Histon. So yeah, that saves the point. As you can see, based on the stats, we didn't really turn up in this match. Merthyr Town fully deserved to actually win this game based on the number of chances that they did have. It was a reverse of fortunes in the away match, though. As you can see, the stats were kind of reversed. Merthyr Town had less chances, and we had more possession as well. So yeah, a reversal of fortunes, but again, that ended up as a 0-0 draw. So that resulted in us having two straight 0-0 draws. And we then followed that up with a 3-0 victory away at Basingstoke. And it looked as if we were going to be on the way to not scoring for 3 consecutive games for the first time in a good while. And it only took until the 87th minute for us to actually open the score. And that wasn't by us. It was actually Russell Woodburn scoring the own goal for Basingstoke to allow us to score for Histon. And then James Difford scored 1 minute later before Jack Friend then wrapped up the points in the 90th minute to ensure that we picked up a 3-0 victory. However, we then followed that up and ended our little 3-game away trip with a 1-1 draw away at St Neots. As you can see, based off the scoreline, we opened the scoring through Carl Pritchard, but again, based on the stats, not a lot of shots and chances created despite having more possession. St Neots were able to create a few more chances than us, and they thoroughly deserved to actually get back into the game and get an equalising goal through Phil Roberts. So really disappointed that we ended up dropping 2 points in the end, especially from a winning position as well. But one of those things where we got away with it again. But this was the game that we kind of got away with, is at home against Hungerford, against a team that's in real relegation trouble. I think they were second bottom when we played against them, and they were the better team. You can see from the stats, though, it wasn't very big game, but we weren't creating anything again before Lucien Bakur opened the scoring for Hungerford. And then it was exactly the same player that unfortunately put the ball into his own net, which allowed us to come away with a point against Hungerford and kept our unbeaten homestand intact. But we were very poor, and we actually I think in my opinion, deserved to lose this game. We did have more chances, but I would say Hungerford deserved to win that, and we didn't really take our chances. So those sort of results happen in football. I was really happy though. We finally managed to get a reaction from the players and managed to get a 3-1 victory away at AFC Portchester, who are also in a bit of a relegation scrap. I think they're just outside the relegation zone though, so on paper should be a little bit better team, especially as the fact that also we're away from home. Josh Green opened the scoring after 28 minutes. He scored his first goal for a good while. Then before Cairo Mitchell equalised, and then Josh Green 1 minute later put us back in the lead before James Difford wrapped up the points in the 85th minute and ensured that we got another 3 points on the board. And in terms of the league table, we've now actually played the same number of games as Hereford. If you can see right here, 36 games played, so 10 remaining of the season to go. And as you can see, we are currently sitting 6 points clear of Hereford with a +1 advantage in the goal difference category. And there's now an 8-point gap between Hereford and Rugby. So in total, a 14-point gap over third place. And there's a 19-point gap over 6th place Hampton and Richmond, the team that we played in the last episode. So we're really close to actually getting a playoff spot secure. We just now got to focus on trying to get the league wrapped up. It's not going to be easy though against a team like Hereford, especially with the the type of players. Yes, they did have injuries before, but I think they're still going to give us a bit of a challenge, especially the fact that we're playing them a bit later on in this episode. But I've rambled on a bit too much about the league. Let's actually get on with the Southern League Cup match, which is a semi-final away up against Banbury. So this is a real opportunity for us to actually get to a cup final and possibly add to the one league title that we managed to win in our very first season with Histon as well. And here's the team that we're going to be going for today. I'm actually going to have a quick switch around with the bench here because it doesn't look like I don't really want these sort of players on there. I'm going to go for Carl Pritchard attacking mid-left instead. But the starting 11 is as follows. Reece Bills in goal. Taylor McKenzie is playing at right back. Now the reason for this is because Carl Pritchard has been out with an injury and he is only on... Oh, not Carl Pritchard. It's Steve Goddard has been out with an injury and he's still only on 84% conditioning. So I thought I'd give him a rest, ready him up, ready for the back for the league fixtures coming up in the next few games. Osborne and Smith are at the centre backs with Carrillo at left back. And now we've got a brand new midfield partnership here, mainly because Callum Frew is out with an injury and Alfie Davison is suspended again. So we've got Liam Tomzet at deep line playmaker, who's also one yellow card away from a suspension, alongside Callum Harris. Now, this is a guy that we did sign who was on trial last time you saw us. The one thing I had to pay quite a considerable fee for him in terms of wages. As you can see, £350 a week. But the thing is, based off his star rating and based off his stats, he is better than Callum Frew. So my ideal scenario is actually to release Callum Frew at the end of the season, whether I get a fee for him or not, because I think we could use that £350 that Callum Frew has on some other players that could fill up some of the positions that we might be lacking in, especially next season if we do get promoted. And we might have to just use that with regards to non-contracts instead, but we'll have to wait and see on that front. Let's cross that bridge when we get there. Let's focus on this semi-final against Banbury here. I'm playing Jack Friend up front alongside James Ifford, mainly because Jack Friend has a history of seeming to have scoring against Banbury so far this season. He did score a couple. I think he scored. I don't know how many goals he scored against Banbury in previous fixtures. We'll go from here. Jack Friend scored a hat-trick the last time we played them at home, all the way back in December. And then in one of the very early games of the season, Jack Friend scored the only goal of the game, which resulted in us getting a draw away at Banbury right at the start of the season. And that was a game when we were down to 9 men. So he's been a bit of a cult hero against Banbury. Hope I haven't jinxed him there, though, for this particular game. But I'm hoping he can definitely provide us with the quality that's needed and can take the opportunity with both hands and score again against his former club. Looks like their 4-4-2 is their formation. The two strikers are very, very crucial for Banbury. Both these guys have played very, very well in the league. Remember, Robert Swaby, I think, scored twice against us the last time we played against them. So he is definitely one to watch, especially for this particular match. We've got to make sure he doesn't get any sniff of goal, or if he does get a sniff of goal, we make it quite hard for him. So let's get into the team talk now. I'm going to say that, see if that makes a difference in motivation. One player looks motivated. I think that is Callum Harris, who's on 72% match sharpness. But I'm hoping that starts to go up as he plays more games. He's only played twice for us so far. Only got a 6.65 rating on average over those 2 games, but it's 2 games, and the fact that his match sharpness is much less compared to everyone else. But anyways, I've rambled on a bit too long. Let's get on with the match on this really weird pitch, as you can see here. A very wide pitch, I would say, and in terms of length, it's quite small. So I think the pitch is wider than it is. Oh, it's longer width-wise than length-wise. As we now got a highlight here. Osborne on the ball with Ephraim, puts the ball towards Tomzet. Back to Ephraim, who had a bit of space, but he's closed down by number 3, Gibson, who's won it back. Here's Howell. He might play a ball towards Swaby, which he has done. He might have a shot here, and he has done. It's 1-0 Banbury here. It's not a good start for us. Robert Swaby has scored his 31st goal of the season. Curse of Football Manager has struck again. We've named a player beforehand, and it's cost us and bitten us today. Alright, here's the highlight. Howell with a nice little long ball over the top, and Swaby runs onto it and just finishes it straight past Bills right there. As you can see, based on the stats, they've already had 3 shots, 3 on target, in the space of less than 10 minutes here. So we have not come out of the gates very well here, as Howell is on the ball, but Harris has won it back though. Ball up towards Difford. He might look out for Friend, but he's tackled by the centre-back for Banbury. Here's Tomzet though, who's got a little bit of space, took a couple of touches there. Ball in towards Difford though, and he has scored, and that's an equaliser, I think. Yes, it is. It's his 12th goal of the season. And that's an instant response, exactly what I wanted from the players. Fantastic stuff right there. Tom Zett taking his time, went through the referee there, so a little bit of a shame on the animation, but Difford getting past his defender and slotting it past the keeper first time, and it's now 1-1. Okay, Bills with a goal kick up towards Ephraim. It's going to be won by Gibson, but it hasn't been. But Greenridge, the number 5 centre-back, has played it back to Richardson, and he will clear it away. Osborne's won it back, though, just inside our own half, and here's Tom Zett. Puts the ball all the way back to Bills, though, as he couldn't really find another pass, unfortunately. But Bills is now going to take it forward. Ball up towards Jack Friend, but it's cleared away by the defenders. Up towards Difford now. Here's Ephraim on his right-hand side. He might cross the ball towards Friend, and he has scored. That's another goal that he's scored. Oh, no, but he's not. He hasn't scored. It's offside. I spoke too soon. I'm sorry about that. I should have realised that he was offside. That's annoying. I thought the streak had continued against Banbury right there. Okay, Bill's another goal kick. It's another highlight from his goal kick. Difford's managed to win the ball, though, and gambled on that. He might pull it back. And he tried for the shot, unfortunately. It's quite a narrow angle there. I think he should have really crossed it towards Friend. Right, sorry about that. Something popped up on my Windows screen right there, and I had to cut away right there as I was speaking. But here's Howell on the ball, back to Swaby, to Amisa, the striker, and he has scored. We've been punished again because of the an outside interference here. The Football Manager gods didn't like the fact that we backed out of the game because of a URL popping up on my web browser. But here's Swaby combining with Amisa, and now it's going to be 2-1. He finishes it past Bills into the right hand corner of the net, and it's not more than they deserve considering the stats here. We've got another highlight here though, as if, can we bounce back straight away like we did in the last time we conceded? Ball up towards Difford. He might take a shot, and he has done. He's scored again. It's 2-2. An instant reaction once again from our players and from James Difford. It's now 2-2. What a cup semi-final we have on our hands here. Friend playing a nice, fantastic ball towards Difford, who takes a touch and slots it past the near post of the goalkeeper. He probably wanted to do better at that near post, but I'm not complaining. It's a 2-2 draw, and now we've got a corner. Ephraim with the ball in towards, I don't know who that was, but it's been cleared away by Banbury. I couldn't really tell because a load of Banbury players were around that player that was trying to get to that ball. Bills is now on the ball, and he's put the ball up towards May, but it's won back by Williams. Tom Zett, though, has won it ahead of the number 9, Amisa, I think that is. Tom Zett is on the ball again. He's lost out to Steele, though, and he might play a ball to Amisa, who might play a ball to Swaby. He's pulled it back, actually. Here's King on the right-hand side. One back, though, by Carrillo. Very well there on the left-hand side. May, back to Tom Zett. Please don't lose the ball there. Ball up towards Friend. He's managed to win it off the centre-back there, and he's taken a shot, and he's hit the crossbar. He's come so close on 2 occasions to actually continuing the streak he has against Banbury at the moment, and it's still 2-2 as we head up towards half-time. Okay, it is half-time now, and we have somehow managed to even out the stats here after a bit of a sluggish start. We've been pretty good, though, since every time they've scored, and we've come back straight away as soon as they've scored, which has been fantastic. A really, really good response. It seems that the players really want to win this game and want to stay in this match and get to a cup final primarily, as we now begin the second half here. No changes at half time for either team, it looks like, which I think is probably fair enough. Both teams did pretty well, although they've had the one, I'll say, as I said before, both have had the similar stats, although they have had the one clear-cut chance compared to our 0, which I don't agree with. But a ball that's been played towards Amisa. Bills this time with a save, and that's clear-cut chance number 2 for Banbury, as we were 1 minute into the second half. As the resulting corner comes in, it's cleared away by Tom Zett. Here is Williams. It's gone a little bit slow there, but here's now Steele, who puts the ball in towards the box, but Bills it's too close to the goalkeeper, and Bills is there to hold it. Corner from our side this time. Ephraim with the ball in, but it's cleared away by Gregory. Ball back out towards Ephraim. Here's May. He might take a shot. He's tried to put the cross in. Ephraim's now put the ball in. Here's Tom Zett, who's lost the ball out to King, unfortunately. It looks like there could be a break on for Banbury. Smith is unable to win the tackle against Amisa. Ball in towards Swaby. It's cleared away by Osborne, though. Good clearance there, but it's going to come back at us here as Howell puts the ball in towards Swaby, and he's scored again. Swaby has scored twice against us. He's our kryptonite today in this Banbury-Histon rivalry that we've currently got right now. Steele with a nice ball to Howell. It's a little bit jumpy at the moment, the highlight. Here's Swaby, who just slots it past the near post, and it's now 3-2 with 35 minutes or so to play in the second half. We might have to make a change here because our centre back pairing hasn't done our centre back and defences haven't been doing very well. Everyone's has a 6.5 or lower except for Reece Bilson, who's on a 6.8. Callum Harris hasn't had the best of games either, so I'm going to bring on Danny Walter in to hopefully provide a little bit of freshness in the midfield and hopefully protect the back four a little bit more. Entering the last 20 minutes or so, it looks like James Difford I'm going to keep on, but Jack Friend, unfortunately, his streak against his old club is going to come to an end. I think we need to go a little bit more attacking, and we're going to bring on Josh Green for the last 20 minutes to see if he can find a late equaliser here today. And the final roll of the dice today is going to be a substitution for Justin May, and Carl Pritchard is going to come on in that winger position on that left-hand side. Justin May hasn't had the greatest of games at 6.6. Let's see if he can, Pritchard coming off the bench can provide something instead. And that's Liam Tomset picks up a yellow card, which means he will be suspended for the next league game, which isn't against Hereford, so fortunately he will hopefully be back for that. Although I don't know though, I think he might be on a 2-game ban. Just depends on how many yellow cards he's picked up throughout the season so far. It looks like we're coming up towards the end of the game though. Unfortunately, we haven't really created anything since this third goal for Banbury has gone in. So going on overload now, we've got to really just try everything pretty much. I don't know whether to change the tactic and put pump balls into the box because we haven't really got any big men, unfortunately. But although we do have a highlight though, and here's Harris. It probably is a goal for Banbury because we're trying to push forward too much. Amisa's trying to get past Smith. Ball is up to Howell, who plays it through to Swaby, who is on a hat-trick here. He's taken a shot, but he's put it over the crossbar, and that has gone down as clear-cut chance number 3, I think. I don't think there was a third clear-cut chance on that board before that chance actually came around. Entering into stoppage time now. Looks like our cup journey is going to come to an end. It's really, really unfortunate. Although we have a highlight here in the back of the on the Banbury half. It's cleared away by Gregory though. Here's Osborne. We've got 20 seconds or so left. They're just clearing away right now, and they're going to just hoof it into our half or something. We're not going to make a tackle, unfortunately, which is really silly. Howell has tried to play it back in Amisa, but Bills is now on the ball. We've got to get it upfield here, and we're not really doing anything, and there it is. That's the end of the game. 3-2 defeat, unfortunately for us, and we are out of the Southern League Cup, unfortunately. I'm going to go for that and see if that relaxes and motivates the players, which is, yeah, one of those things, I guess. That's really unfortunate, the fact that we couldn't get the win and we weren't unable to get to the League Cup final, but at least it means we now have to we get to focus on the league. And speaking of the league, our next game is against Hereford, although you can see that we've got 2 home games before that. So I'm going to go off camera, play those 2 home games, tell you about them, and then I'll cut to the Hereford game in a minute. Alright, we're here for the second game of this live come away at Hereford FC. Let's just take you through what happened in the 2 games since the Southern League Cup semi-final that we lost just a bit earlier on in the episode. We won with a 1-4-1 against Ashford Middlesex. James Difford scoring all 4 goals during that game, which was absolutely fantastic. And unfortunately, we were unable to draw against Mangotsfield, with George Cole grabbing an equaliser for Mangotsfield in the 76th minute following Jack Friend's opener after 40 minutes. So, in terms of the team what we're going to go for today against Hereford, it's one change I think I've made is James Difford's going to come off the bench mainly because of his fitness is only at 90%. So, I'm going to give Josh Green and Jack Friend the starts up front. Everything else looks pretty similar. I think Taylor McKenzie and Harry Osborne at the centre-backs. Gollar's now back at right-back. As you guys remember, he wasn't playing in the last match. I don't think. I'm recording this little part of the episode after the events of what happened in the Southern League Cup. Davidson and Callum Frew are in that central midfield. Both are back from suspension and injury respectively. And then we've got Ephraim and May on the wings with Green and Friend up front. On the bench, we've got we dropped Callum Harris down to the bench with Steve Reed also on the bench for the attacking mid right position because Carl Pritchard's actually out with a torn groin for 6 to 8 weeks, which is a bit of a shame. So we're kind of forced into having Steve Reed on the bench, but it's one of those things, I guess, and hopefully he will provide an impact when necessary if he needs to come onto the pitch. But that's enough of me rambling. Let's go into the match against Hereford. It's the biggest game probably of the season so far. It's a defining moment of the season as to who is going to win the league this year. 8-point gap between us and Hereford as it stands. A Hereford win we reduced that gap to 5 points with just 7 to play. So it's really important that we come out of this game with a draw at best, with a draw at worst, because the gap will then be maintained at 8 points with 7 to play, or the gap will increase up to 11 points with 7 to play. So Hereford need to win this match, but we can afford to pick up a draw from this game. So hopefully we can get out of this match with a fantastic result. Looks like they're back to full strength with guys like Jake Sinclair, etc. on the field. Also guys like Ryan Loft, Harry Charlesley, who also were thorns in our side the last time we did play against Hereford, I seem to remember. Josh De Silva as well was another big player. Let's see, Kevin Owusu I will also close down because I know he's a attacker from what I recall from the last time we were playing against them. Inside forward, actually, I apologise. I miscalculated what his position is, but he's still going to be one of those players that we have to keep an eye on if he does come onto the pitch. So let's get into the team talk. Yeah, looks like actually no, we didn't lose to Hereford last time. We lost to them in the playoffs. We drew against them at the start earlier on in the season. So let's see what we can do here. I'm not going to say we're favourites because that might result in the players getting nervous, etc. So I'm going to say that and see if that makes a difference. Okay, the two midfielders look motivated, which is fantastic. Nothing changed with the defence after the extra team talk, and Jack Friend's looking happy. So let's get into the game. Fingers crossed this doesn't go badly for us. Hereford are also on a bit of a up and down run of form. They haven't seemed to be able to take advantage of the fact when we slip up as well. So they always seem to do exactly the same as to what we're doing in terms of the results. So when we drew against Mangotsfield, they could only draw as well. So that was kind of helpful, the fact that they did play Banbury, the team that beat us in the Southern League Cup. But we've got a highlight straight away. Jake Sinclair with a free kick in towards Loft. Here's Wicks on this left-hand side, who's lost the ball, though, to Callum Frew, and the ball's been played up towards Osborne. I don't know why he's so far forward as a centre-back, but he's rushing forward. Ball up towards May. Fantastic ball there, and it's a goal. What an assist from Harry Osborne, and Justin May has put his 14th goal of the season, has scored his 14th goal of the season, and we're 1-0 up at Hereford. What a start. Okay, here's the highlight. Osborne with a fantastic run from centre-back. A great ball to Justin May, as if he was a winger, and May takes a touch and slots it past the keeper, and we're 1-0 up at Edgar Street. And as it stands, we're now 11 points clear with 7 games to play. But let's not get carried away with ourselves. That was only 1 goal so far, and there's still a long way to go in this match. Okay, a free kick for us. Callum Frew with the ball in towards Osborne, but it's claimed by the Hereford keeper, Howes. He's now going to clear it up the field, probably towards Ryan Loft or Jake Sinclair. He actually goes left, but there's no Hereford player there. But they've managed to get the second ball, and here's Loft back to De Silva. Maybe Davidson could win that ball back. Unfortunately, not. Charlesley, Sinclair, back to Stylianides. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Apologies. Just De Silva to Loft. Charlesley, nice little play from Hereford, and I told you they were going to be back in this game. Harry Charlesley with his 15th goal of the season, and it's now 1-1. It's okay though. We're still 8 points clear as it stands, but as long as we don't lose this game, that's important. But Charlesley with a nice finish past Bills. I think Bills gets a hand to it based off that animation, but unfortunately he wasn't able to keep it out. Based on the stats though, Hereford looked to be very dominant in terms of possession and also chances, so I think we might have gotten a little bit lucky with that early goal, but they all count, I guess, as it is now half time. Let's see if we need to provide a really good motivational speech here to see if we can keep the team motivated, and that's exactly what the sort of reaction I was after. Yep, everyone's looking very happy, which is good, and we also will have to think about who's going to come onto the pitch from the substitutes bench. Ephraim on a 6.4, Josh Green on a 6.3, so maybe an opportunity for Steve Reed and or James Diffin. Also, the conditioning for our two central midfielders looks quite bad, so possibility to include Callum Harris as the game progresses. There's a 6.4 I saw also on one of our centre backs, so we've got to keep an eye on that as well. Because Hereford have now kicked off. Here's Sinclair on this right hand side, but he's lost the ball out to Carrillo, but he's then given it straight back to the right back. Charlesley, the goal scorer for Hereford, back to the Silva. Then tries to play in the right back, but who's managed to put a ball up towards Jake Sinclair. It's a chance here for Hereford, but Goddard is there to clear it away. Well tracked there by our right back there. Right, we're approaching 65 minutes. Oh, they've actually got a highlight here. It looks like Hereford have made a couple of substitutions, but they might actually score from this. Here's Jake Sinclair, though. Good save by Bills, though, and it's kept it at 1-1. Does that go down as a clear-cut chance? I'm not 100% sure on that. They have now had 2 clear-cut chances, so I guess that was a clear-cut chance that has gone down for them. I was going to say we're going to make a substitution, but we're going to wait for this highlight to finish, and then we'll make the change as we now clear it away. Goddard has fouled someone, though, and it's a penalty, I think. Oh, great. That's not good. That's not good. I don't know what happened there. I thought Goddard was fouled there, but unfortunately that means that Hereford have opportunity to take the lead in this game. Number 9 stepping up, and that's probably Loft. Takes the shot, and it's managed to creep it past Bills, who went the right way, and now Hereford are 2-1 up here. We're now going to make our substitution here, as it's not looking very good for us at the moment. Some players looking frustrated. Steve Reed's going to come on, and I'm also going to take off Alfie Davidson, because I don't really want his... actually, not Alfie Davidson, Callum Frew. Oh no, Callum Frew's actually on 6.8. Take Alfie Davidson off, because they're both looking frustrated, and I don't really want a sending off here as we come into the last 25 minutes or so, where we're now 2-1 down. He's already waving to the crowd. He's showboating already, and that's very disrespectful in my opinion. And Hereford are now 2-1 up as we've now made those 2 changes. Let's see if that makes a difference in terms of our style of play. Unfortunately, we haven't really been in the game. We've had 1 clear-cut chance, and that was the Justin May goal. They've now got a corner, which is headed in by Winks, and Martin is there. It's now 3-1. It looks like Hereford are going to take a good big stride towards us in the league here, as Aaron Martin scored a goal from centre-back. I think that was his either... I didn't see what the... I wasn't paying attention as to what his number of goals he'd scored this season, but it was a nice flick on by Wicks, and Martin is there at the back post to tap it in front of our the guy that was on the line, unfortunately for us. Kevin Carrillo's now down to a 5.7, so that's not good. I think he must have been at fault, and Taylor McKenzie as well, down on at 5.9. The defence, the only man that's been doing very well so far was Harry Oswald, and that was because of his assist. Probably should have actually stopped talking there and actually put on James Difford for the last 13 minutes or so. It doesn't really look like it's going to make a difference if we do score. It might do with 10 minutes remaining. We've seen some crazy stuff before in Football Manager in other saves, but Jack Friend's now picked up an injury. It's a facial injury, unfortunately, and looks like he's going to have to come off, which is really annoying. So we're now down to 10 men involuntarily. As Hereford clicked the ball up towards Jake Sinclair, who's won the ball ahead of Carrillo, who's had a bit of a terrible game. Mackenzie's though won it back though, and here is May on the left-hand side. We can't get past Johnson, unfortunately, and Hereford are now going to come at us again. It looks like it's going to be a disaster result for us as they score again. Ball back towards Martin, who did score their 3rd goal, but Callum Frew's managed to intercept a possible clearance from Martin, who's taken a shot, and it's well wide. I don't know why he did that. I think James Difford was running into the box there, and I think he should have tried to pick out him instead of going for the spectacular. But now Hereford are probably going to come at this again. Here's Cooper to Johnson. A ball up towards Sinclair, but Sinclair wasn't able to get on the end of that. And here's Bills. A ball up towards James Difford, but Cooper is there to intercept. And a ball up is played up towards Loft. Cooper, Charlesley, Loft to Stylianides. Sinclair on this right-hand side. I might put the ball in the box. That's another penalty. I think it is another penalty because the game has decided to freeze a little bit. It's always the case whenever this happens. Yep, that's a 2nd penalty that we've conceded today, and Frew has now picked up a 2nd yellow card, and he's now off the pitch. We're down to 9 men. Oh my goodness, this has all gone wrong here. With ever since the start of the game, we're now down to 9 men, mainly because Jack Friends had to come off with an injury, and now Frew is off the pitch after just coming back from injury. He's now going to be missing another couple of games because of his suspension. Loft is now stepping up to take another penalty for Hereford. Let's just try and get out here with the minimum goal difference, and he has scored again. It's now 4-1. This is a disaster result for us here, and it's a good momentum swing as well for Hereford as it stands. It looks like it's going to be our 3rd defeat of the season. We need to bounce back from this straight away as we now head into this. At least he's not cocky this time when he takes the penalty. This time he slots it into the left-hand corner of the bottom-hand side of the net, and it's now 4-1. Corner for us. Harris with the corner in, but it's cleared away by Cooper. Harris again, though, is on the ball. Ball up towards May. Difford, who might take a shot, and it has gone into the back of the net. James Difford has pulled one back for us, and it's now 4-2. At least the goal difference looks a little bit... Oh, the goal difference is now the same as it stands. A nice little ball in from Harris, who then exchanges the pass to May, who exchanges the pass with Difford. Then toe pokes it sort of, and it hits the post and goes in. Take that, definitely take that. But unfortunately, it's too little, too late. Unfortunately, Hereford are now already 2 more goals to the good. So it's really, really disappointing that we've come to this game after having such a bright start. It all went to pear-shaped as soon as we conceded a penalty. And yeah, Callum Frew deciding to get sent off with deciding to be silly and complaining about the decision. Which, yeah, you just have to take your medicine with that sort of stuff. Football Manager cliche there. As we come up towards the last 5 seconds, Howes is now just going to hold it until the final whistle. And he has done it. It's finished 4-2 Hereford. A bit of a disastrous episode for us. 2 back-to-back games that we've lost. I'm not going to be too hard on them, but I'm going to say that and see if that makes them look fired up. Yes, okay. A lot of them look motivated, and I'm hoping we have a reaction this next game because we need to get back to winning ways, because the gap's now down to 5 points with 7 games remaining, and we all know that gap could easily be dropped down, could easily be gone in just 1 match. We've got Gloucester away next in the league, who are 8 points away from the relegation zone. I can see at the bottom of the, or 8 points away from safety. Sorry, they are in the relegation zone. They are 8 points away from safety. So we've got to be on our guard again, because they will want to try and close that gap to Basingstoke and try and get themselves to stay up in this division. Alright, Jack Friend's injury isn't too bad. He's out for 2 to 3 days if we leave him to the physio, which I think is what I'm going to do. And the fact is, he will probably be back for the next game then, which will be fantastic. He might actually not play though. I think I might give Josh Green. And Callum Frew, as you can see, banned for 3 games, which is really, really annoying. I'm going to fine him for that, because he thinks he may feel that the fine is unfair, but the fact is, again, he's breached his contract. He's now out for another 3 games, which are crucial games, because especially where we are in the league, and considering now that Hereford have reduced the gap. We've also, especially it's a game against home to Rugby, who are 3rd place, and also Hampton. Oh, I don't think he'll miss the Hampton and Richmond game, but he's missing 2 home games, especially the one particularly which I'm worried about is the Rugby game at home and also this Gloucester game away. Yes, Gloucester are in the relegation zone, as I mentioned before, but they're fighting for their lives. They'll want to grab every single point, regardless of who they're playing. So, yeah, it's one of those things where we have to bounce back and take our medicine and get a reaction, especially for the next couple of games. So, in terms of what game we're going to do next, it probably might be the Hitchin game if the title goes all the way down to the wire, but it might be a game in which we can seal the title, and we will. And if it gets a favourable team, we might do that game. So maybe, like, I don't know, if it's Barnstable or Hampton and Richmond away, we just have to wait and see on that front. But I'm hoping it doesn't go to the last game of the season, because, well, in one sense, it would make it very exciting for you guys to watch, but it wouldn't be very exciting for me, as we all saw a couple of seasons ago when we won the league, 3 years back when we won the Southern League First Division Central to get promoted into this division. So we have to bounce back from this, and let's hope we can get the positive results and get back to winning ways ASAP, and ensure that Hereford have no chance of overhauling us in the closing stages of the season. But despite the 2 bad results that we've had today, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also comment to see if there's anything I can do to improve the overall quality of the series. And I'll see you all for the next episode, which will probably be one of these games around about here, depending on how quickly the title can be wrapped up. So, until then guys, I will see you later.